the mistakes that we made building a house. And there's a lot of different types of mistakes. One is the mistakes that the builder made. Like, they were wrong, they messed up, and it's so bad of a mistake that it's going to be so expensive to fix it.
Welcome to the Expat Failure Matrix. They wanted an American dream house. They got a Vietnamese reality check.
You guys are American. You guys have infinity money, right? We don't. You guys should buy it so that our family can have more property in this neighborhood. So we did. I kind of thought of it more as an investment, but my wife really wanted.
That's how this started. The family saw an American and assumed infinity money. In Vietnam, marrying into a family comes with a construction budget you didn't agree to.
And I'm happy to announce that the house is finally done and we are finally moved in. Well, let me throw in like 2 asterisks because...
Meet David and Kim. 6 months of building by the beach in Da Nang. A beautiful house, assuming you don't look closely at any of the details.
So many daily mistakes. Like seriously, on a daily basis, they make mistakes. If we weren't here every day, I'm here like twice a week, Kim's here like 24/7.
They treated a Vietnamese construction crew like an American general contractor. In America, blueprints are legally binding contracts. In Vietnam, blueprints are a Pinterest mood board. If you don't stand there and watch them, a door quickly becomes a wall. Part 2 is when the blueprints meet reality.
Gosh, it's so hard to film. I want to film when people aren't working, but when people aren't working, they're napping. Let me find a floor where people aren't napping, and then I'll talk to you guys about the whole cabinet situation.
He can't film when people are working. He can't film when they're napping. That leaves approximately 7 minutes a day between lunch and the afternoon nap.
Everything, and guess what? They were all wrong. There was an issue with all of them. We'll talk about it more when we get to the house, but basically they try to fix it in a lot of different ways. They try to like
closets, bathrooms, everything. The builder nodded at the blueprints, said yes, and then built whatever he had materials for. In Vietnam, we call that being resourceful.
I'm not happy with it. Yeah, definitely not happy with it. Let me see if can you guys see the amount?
The reality of cheap labor is you pay for it in emotional damage.
I'll tell you guys a funny story. So we installed the toilets. We installed the toilets finally. But when they were doing the toilet installations and they took the cover off the tube, it stunk like crazy. I wasn't here. Kim was telling me the story, and she was wondering, oh my gosh, why does it smell so bad? What's going on? And what we found out was the workers have been taking the cover off the tube and peeing into the tube.
The workers were using the unfinished plumbing as a urinal. Kim discovered this. Kim investigated this. Kim is traumatized. The house was not even finished, and it already had a bathroom problem.
Oh, it's like $5,000. It's like a $5,000 toilet. What the heck? Did these like cure cancer or something? There's a $5,000 toilet. That one's even more expensive, $145 million. It's like $6,000. Oh, this is a cool sink. This is a cool sink. I like this sink. Look at the sink. I like how this lip is low. This is a nice sink. Wait, I want the sink. I don't know about that $6,000 toilet.
$6,000 for a toilet. In a country where the average monthly salary is $400. That is 15 months of Vietnamese labor sitting in your bathroom. That toilet better file your taxes.
Under this wall, and they can't really look in. Got a super fancy cat tower. Got a coffee table that costs $2 and sucks, and we're probably gonna throw it away because...
The man who browsed $6,000 toilets furnished his home with a $2 coffee table. That is not a budget. That is a cry for help.
Like, okay, that looks completely wrong. So they definitely sent it, hoping we wouldn't notice, installed it, and just stayed quiet. And then as soon as we saw it, we're like, what the hell is that?
A universal truth of expat construction. The moment you leave for lunch, the window goes in crooked.
Okay, speaking of doing things a million times, they had to redo this railing 3 times. We told them to bring a crane so that they could pull it up to here, but they didn't feel like calling a crane, so they were like, oh no, we can just like chop it in half. So they chopped it in half, brought it up, installed it, and it was not straight. It was not straight. It was like the McDonald's logo. You had a little bit of this action going on. And we were like, what the heck? So
They chopped the railing in half, carried it up, and welded it back together. It looked like the McDonald's Golden Arches. 3 attempts, 3 failures, 3 welds. Now let's talk about Kim.
That we need to have fixed. This is kind of hilarious. This was our fault. But the mirror was this high, and Kim is, let me try to imitate Kim. Kim is this short. So
They installed a custom mirror in the bathroom. Kim could not see her own face in it. The builders measured the mirror height for themselves. David had to physically imitate Kim's height to explain the problem. That is marriage.
Huge deal, but they installed this super low. Like, this is basically as low down as I can reach without having to squat down at all. It's super, super low. It's like at thigh level. And they can't move it up because they messed up on the shower nook. They made the shower nook too low, so this...
The shower head is at thigh level. The tallest builder was 5'6", so he thought it was plenty of space. They built David's dream home to Vietnamese dimensions.
Wes, these handles from America, they're super smooth. They don't have that weird double lock, and they have one of these little like twisty locks, just like in the US. So yeah, go Kim, attention to detail. We also have these magnetic door stoppers so that the doors open up and stick.
Kim smuggled American door handles onto a plane in her luggage from the United States because she could not find a Vietnamese lock that met her standards. That is not interior design. That is customs fraud with aesthetic intent. Which brings us to part 4, literally titled, Everything We Got Wrong.
That we can't change because they drilled into the tile. So if we move it, we have to replace the tile, and it's just such a big deal. This isn't every single bathroom. There's look at all this space. Look at all this space. Okay.
Permanent mistakes. The Vietnamese contractor special. Once the hole is drilled, you learn to love the hole.
Photo upload, not really. Budget range, not really. Just description. We're going to keep it super simple and say just description. It did a really good job asking really insightful follow-up questions.
This is how you get to part 4. When the construction budget starts as a solid number and ends as a gentle rumor.
Actually designed the layout of this house was my friend, not an architect from Vietnam. He's an architect in New York and in Korea. And he designed this corner section so that it would be super open and it would be well utilized. And it was just like, it was genius. It was great. And to maximize space in the kitchen, we wanted to have as much stuff.
The staircase is way too thick because they eyeballed it. David's exact words. Vibe coding is good. Vibe building is bad. They had to buy a smaller fridge because the staircase ate the kitchen.
And our kitchen, which brings us to the biggest mistake of the entire house. This one I cannot put onto the app because this is unfixable at this point, but it's a big deal, and I am still salty to say.
They categorized their mistakes. They needed a taxonomy of failure, or as the locals call it, paying tuition.
I can give you guys is demand what you deserve and what you paid for and what you agreed on. These things that feel like it's a big deal to take 2 to 3 weeks to fix, tens of thousands of dollars for them, it seems like a big deal, but
his advice to you is demand what you deserve. Bold words. Let's see how that played out.
It cost you guys a lot of money, and it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to just build it again from scratch, even though the rest of the house is done. And it felt like we were being a huge inconvenience and we were being super picky. So we decided not to go that route. But if you guys are ever building a house,
he folded on every single issue because he didn't want to be an inconvenience. In Vietnam, the contractor does not respect your boundaries. The contractor respects your willingness to leave. Inspirational.
Hàng xóm mặn. Trời ơi, chị ơi, you gave the Vietnamese builder an American blueprint? That is a menu, not an order. The builder just nods, says yes, and then builds whatever he has materials for. So naive.
Chị ơi, they catch mistakes every day. If they did not bring the big camera, the workers would have finished in 3 months. The camera makes them nervous, so they put the tiles upside down.
4 separate videos complaining about a house you chose to build. Chí ơi, tell them to move to an apartment. No roof leaks, no contractor stress. My nephew has a nice two-bedroom in Đà Nẵng. I give good price.
Chúng tôi thấy hết.
But eventually the dust settles.
Is looking at when it's raining. This is kind of my happy place. I do spend most of the day up here in my office, and I just look out at the rain and the sun, and they are both equally beautiful.
You sit in your new house, and you convince yourself the trauma was worth it.
Super awesome. Highly recommend if you have dehumidifiers. And then we have a shared bathroom here. Again, we have the lighting, sink, built-ins.
Stockholm Syndrome is the final phase of every expat build. They suffered for 6 months, and now they want you to do it too. Expat Failure Matrix score. Financial runway. 40 out of 170. The budget was blown up somewhere between the second and third mistake. Project management. 10 out of 170. Catching a mistake daily means you are the mistake. Cultural integration. 50 out of 170. They expected Home Depot precision from a market that runs on relationships and flexibility. They learned the Vietnamese word for delay the hard way. Self-awareness index. 100 out of 170. You have to respect someone who literally titles a video, "Everything We Got Wrong." Hustle transparency. 150 out of 170. Monetizing your own construction trauma across 4 episodes is elite-level coping. Final score, 350 out of 850. The content creator's folly. At least the ad revenue might pay for a new door hinge. I'm your host at the Expat Failure Matrix. Remember, if your dream house requires a 4-part apology tour, you built a nightmare. The proprietary algorithm used in today's episode is available in our exclusive EFM course, which is a single ChatGPT prompt on how to actually build a house in Vietnam without losing your mind. Please do not pirate it because it is already free.